In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on January 1st, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Wisconsin versus LSU. A highly anticipated 2024 ReliaQuest Bowl is poised to unfold in Tampa, featuring an intriguing matchup between the resilient Wisconsin Badgers, who finished the season at 7-5 under the fresh leadership of Luke Fickell in his inaugural season in Madison, and the formidable 13th-ranked LSU Tigers, boasting a commendable 9-3 record. This New Year's Day spectacle holds additional significance as the LSU Tigers, led by coach Brian Kelly, will navigate the field without the services of their star quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Daniels, the illustrious 2023 Heisman Trophy winner, has chosen to opt out of the game to focus on preparations for the upcoming NFL Draft. In his absence, the reins of the LSU Tigers offense will be entrusted to the season backup, Garrett Nussmeier. This matchup marks the first meeting between the two teams since their season-opening clash in 2016. The Wisconsin Badgers face challenges in maintaining a .500 record through the initial 10 games of the season, experiencing setbacks against formidable opponents such as Washington State, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana, and Northwestern. Throughout the season, Wisconsin managed a modest average of 23 points per game, with 206.9 yards passing per game, contributing to a total of 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. The Badgers secured a hard-fought victory over Minnesota in their last matchup, overcoming a 14-14 tie in the first half to emerge victorious with a 28-14 scoreline. Quarterback Tanner Mordecai played a pivotal role, amassing 145 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception, while Braylon Allen rushed 26 times for an impressive 165 yards and 2 additional touchdowns. On the Tigers' side, they encountered 3 setbacks in the form of losses to ranked teams, Florida State, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Despite these challenges, LSU showcased an impressive offensive prowess, averaging 46 points per game and accumulating 334.3 yards per game through the air, with 41 passing scores and 4 interceptions. In their latest game against Texas Agricultural and Mechanical on November 25th, the Tigers staged a remarkable comeback, overturning a 24-21 deficit in the final quarter to secure a 42-30 victory. Jayden Daniels, in a stellar performance, posted 235 passing yards with 4 touchdowns and also led the rushing attack with 11 carries for 120 yards. The ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa sets the stage for a clash between the Wisconsin Badgers, concluding their season with a 7-5 record under the leadership of head coach Luke Fickell, and the LSU Tigers, finishing the year at 9-3 under the guidance of head coach Brian Kelly. While it marks a positive start for Fickell's regime in Wisconsin, expectations loom for further improvement in the upcoming seasons. In contrast, Kelly, in his second year with LSU, has delivered a solid 9-3 season, yet the pressure for playoff success intensifies among the fan base. The introduction of a 12-team playoff format next year offers potential opportunities for both teams and their head coaches. As this game unfolds, fans will catch a glimpse of what lies ahead in the subsequent season rather than a mere conclusion to the current one. LSU starting quarterback Jayden Daniels, who clinched the Heisman Trophy this year, has opted out of the game, leaving a void in the team's offensive lineup. Daniels played a pivotal role in steering the Tigers to their current record and bowl game. The team's high-powered offense, which led the NCAA with 555.8 yards and 46 points per game, will now rely on Garrett Nussmeier. The sophomore quarterback, with playing time in 6 games this year, boasts a 51.5% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions in those appearances. In his career, Nussmeier holds a 56.3% completion percentage, along with 8 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. While the Tigers will miss Daniels, key offensive players like wide receiver Malik Neighbors, the Biletnikoff Award runner-up, are expected to contribute. The Tigers' defense, a persistent challenge throughout the season, may pose difficulties for Wisconsin's offense, which, though not explosive, demonstrated consistency with 380.7 yards and 23 points per game. Defensively, the Badgers remain solid, allowing only 346.8 yards and 19 points per game. Opt-outs play a crucial role in this bowl season, affecting both teams as they will be without their top offensive players. Jaden Daniels' absence at quarterback for LSU and Braylon Allen's non-participation at running back for Wisconsin represent significant setbacks. Notably, Allen's departure poses a greater challenge for the Badgers, given their reliance on a run-dominant strategy. Without an elite back to counter the Southeastern Conference defense, compounded by the absence of the second leading rusher, Shea Malusi, due to injury, the Badgers face a scoring dilemma. In a season where they recorded 21 rushing touchdowns compared to 11 passing touchdowns, the absence of top backs will undoubtedly impact their offensive performance. Meanwhile, LSU retains its top running back for the game and has only lost one defensive starter. The outcome of this game hinges on whether LSU's offense, now led by Nussmeier, can replicate the explosiveness displayed with Daniels at the helm. While doubts linger about them maintaining their top offensive ranking, Nussmeier's ability to generate sufficient points against a Wisconsin team with mediocrity on both ends of the field becomes a focal point. The Badgers, with at least 5 starters unavailable for the game, face a challenging task. Nussmeier, despite the tough circumstances, benefits from having 2,000-yard receivers, likely NFL-bound, providing a glimmer of hope for the Tigers. So the Memphis Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Although LSU's offense may experience a dip in performance without the Heisman Trophy winner, the team still boasts potent weapons such as Malik Neighbors and Brain Thomas Jr. The plethora of offensive options at Nussmeier's disposal, coupled with an experienced Wisconsin offense, suggests that both teams will contribute to surpassing the projected total. In this context, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Iowa versus Tennessee. New Year's Day has arrived, ushering in a thrilling lineup of college football games. Among the standout matchups is the Citrus Bowl, featuring the 17th-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes facing off against the 21st-ranked Tennessee Volunteers. The Hawkeyes boast a 10-3 record, while the Volunteers enter the game with an 8-4 standing. In the aftermath of a shutout in the Big Ten championship game, Iowa is eager to leave a lasting positive impression on the season. However, their offensive struggles persist, compounded by the absence of key players such as quarterback Cade McNamara, 2 backup quarterbacks, tight end Eric All, tight end Luke Lachey, and wide receiver Diane Vines. This poses a significant challenge for a team that finished the season with the lowest yards per game nationwide. Iowa's offense ranked 4th lowest in passing yards, resulting in the 4th fewest points per game in the nation. The persistent issue of scoring has plagued the Hawkeyes for years, and entering this game shorthanded, their offensive prospects appear dim. Despite the offensive setbacks, Iowa's defense, with the exception of Cooper DeJean and a few transfers, remains formidable. Ranking 5th in yards allowed per game in college football this season, the Hawkeyes conceded only 13 points per game, with just 2 teams breaching the 20-point mark against them. Their defense excelled both against the run and the pass, positioning them as a top 15 team in these categories. With a strong defense and special teams, Iowa often relies on this combination to stay competitive. The question looms whether the defense can propel them to victory in their final outing. Tennessee concluded their regular season with a resounding victory over Vanderbilt, but now they face the challenge of securing another win without starting quarterback Joe Milton III and their 2 leading rushers. This absence carries significant implications for a Tennessee team that finished 17th in yards per game, averaging 453.5. Despite averaging 31.5 points per game this season, the Volunteers are without key offensive components. The departure of major contributors raises doubts about their ability to replicate the elite rushing and passing yards that define their offense. The Volunteers must rely on untested players to step up and fill the void. On the defensive front, Tennessee contends with an extensive list of transfers, including key players. Although their defense held opponents to 22 points per game, a respectable feat, they also surrendered 348.7 yards per game at full strength. Notably, their run defense allowed only 113.8 yards per game, a crucial factor in this matchup. The question lingers whether the departure of multiple key players will undermine the effectiveness of their defense. It becomes challenging to rally behind the Iowa Hawkeyes given their offensive struggles. While their defense shines, the inability to move the ball effectively hampers their overall performance. Moreover, skepticism arises regarding the defensive prowess of Iowa, as it may be influenced by the subpar units encountered in the Big Ten. The Tennessee Volunteers present a different challenge with athletic players rarely seen in Iowa's conference, and a playmaking quarterback typically poses difficulties for defenses. Iowa must adopt a gritty approach to stay competitive, making the Tennessee Volunteers to win and cover the spread as favorites our full game side pick. Iowa's defensive strength is undeniable, ranking 4th in both points allowed per game and yards allowed per game. The absence of Tennessee's starting quarterback, Joe Milton, intensifies the challenge as they turn to a freshman with limited collegiate experience. This scenario is a daunting initiation against Iowa's formidable defense. Conversely, anticipate an Iowa special where the offense faces difficulties sustaining drives. Ranking 128th in plays per game, the Hawkeyes are likely to slow down the pace and rely on a run-heavy strategy. Adding to the equation is the X factor, punter Tory Taylor, averaging an impressive 47.9 yards per punt with a season long of 67 yards. Taylor's ability to flip the field can create challenges for the Volunteers' offense. The prospect of Iowa reaching double-digit points in a game is far from guaranteed, especially with an injury-plagued defense that ranks among the worst in college football. Despite missing key players, Tennessee's defense is poised to stifle the Hawkeyes. Iowa, known for low-scoring affairs, is likely to contribute to keeping the overall score in check. Similarly, Tennessee's offense will grapple with generating an effective rushing attack without their top rushers and starting quarterback. Iowa's top 5 defense in yards and points allowed is poised to exploit the vulnerabilities presented by Tennessee's revamped lineup. While the total is set at a relatively low mark, it still may not be low enough for an Iowa game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Liberty versus Oregon. In the upcoming VRBO Fiesta Bowl at State Farm Stadium, one of the standout undefeated programs in college football, the Liberty Flames will face the Oregon Ducks. Despite the intriguing 13-0 record of the Flames and their New Year's Day slot, the Oregon Ducks, with an 11-2 record, are considered heavy favorites in this matchup. The clash on Monday could either shatter Liberty's dreams or witness the Flames lighting up the field for a perfect season finale. The narrative is poised on the brink of history as the new year unfolds. Having secured the Conference USA Championship, the undefeated Liberty Flames stand as the sole non-power conference team gracing the New Year's Day lineup, set to compete in the prestigious Fiesta Bowl against the 11-2 Oregon Ducks. The Ducks, despite a somewhat disappointing conclusion to their season, exhibit motivation for this showdown in the desert. Notably, Liberty faces its most formidable challenge, boasting a strength of schedule ranked 139th according to Sagarin, a considerable gap compared to Oregon's experience against a top 30 schedule. The matchup becomes even more intriguing with the absence of key players due to opt-outs and injuries. Notably, Oregon center Jackson Powers Johnson, cornerback Kyrie Jackson, wide receiver Troy Franklin, and Liberty cornerback Preston Hodge are confirmed opt-outs, while injuries affect Jordan Birch and Joel Florence for the Ducks. As the stage is set, the dynamics of this clash continue to unfold, with uncertainties surrounding the availability of key contributors. Assuming that Oregon's pivotal players remain on the field for a significant duration, the path to victory for Liberty seems challenging. The Ducks boast a considerable talent advantage, commencing the season in the top 10 in roster talent composite according to 247 Sports, compared to the Flames ranking at 123rd out of 237 Football Bowl subdivision and Football Championship conference teams. Oregon's offensive prowess, evidenced by elite metrics in various categories over the last 6 weeks, promises a formidable challenge for Liberty's defense. With quarterback Bo Nix and running back Bucky Irving committed to the game, the Ducks aim to maintain their offensive explosiveness. Despite Liberty's potential defensive vulnerabilities, the clash promises an intriguing spectacle as the Flames aim for an upset. This presents a significant step up for the Flames, facing a robust run defense from the Ducks. Anticipating frustration for Liberty offensively, Oregon's ability to move the ball down the field becomes crucial. Bo Nix's mobility, particularly in the red zone, adds another layer to Oregon's offensive strategy. While Liberty may find the end end zone a few times, the Ducks are expected to capitalize on defensive gaps, potentially dominating the game. So the Oregon Ducks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The clash between Oregon and Liberty magnifies the efficiency of both teams' offenses on a national scale. Over the last 7 weeks of the season, including conference championships, the Ducks and Flames emerge as top contenders in predicted points added per play, success rate, and finishing drives in non-garbage time. Despite their offensive prowess, the key distinction lies in the level of competition faced, with Liberty having a weaker strength of schedule compared to Oregon's top 30 ranking. The absence of Oregon's starting center and leading receiver adds a layer of uncertainty, but as long as the offensive starters remain on the field, the Ducks are poised for scoring success. In terms of offensive dynamics, Liberty's ability to stretch the field and Oregon's vulnerability in the secondary set the stage for a competitive encounter. Bo Nix's high completion rate, coupled with a talented wide receiver group, positions Oregon's offense to maintain momentum. Notably, Oregon's defensive vulnerabilities, particularly in the red zone, may provide opportunities for Liberty's offense, led by Jamie Chadwell. Both teams are expected to capitalize on scoring opportunities in the red zone, and explosive plays may add an exciting dimension to the game. With both offenses averaging over 40 points per game, the expectation is for a high-scoring encounter. As two of the nation's most explosive offenses prepare to meet, the over becomes a compelling betting choice. Oregon's offensive strength, even without key players, and Liberty's full offensive lineup further support the anticipation of a high-scoring affair. In analyzing the potential outcomes, Liberty's test of Oregon's run defense and the Ducks' proven ability to score prolifically create a scenario where a high-scoring affair is likely. The clash between these offensive powerhouses is likely to result in a thrilling and high-scoring spectacle on Monday afternoon. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.